Want to write a children's book but don't know where to start? You're in the right place. In this video, you'll get expert tips from a publishing CEO and real advice from a published children's author, all packed into one simple guide. Let's get into it. Writing a book for children isn't just about fun stories. It's a creative process with structure, visuals, and technical details you need to get right. Let's start with the most important element of all, the pictures.
When it comes to children's book, I'm sure that there is not a lot of writing involved. It's about a short story. But the major and the most important thing about the children's book is the children's picture book. Yes, most of the children's books are pictorial. So because that is where you grab the attention of the children. So let's start with my first topic. That is the difference between children's picture book and the book with pictures. So these two are very different, yet they sound similar, but they are different. So when it comes to a book with picture, it's like it is a regular book and that book has a lot of pictures in it. Like you will say a cooking book. Cooking book qualifies as a book with a lot of pictures. Like travel book, where you will include a lot of picture, say some story through your picture, and that becomes the book with a lot of pictures in it. But when it comes to children's picture book, has illustration that tells story, has characters, and each character will have something to talk on and will talk about it. It's like telling story. It's between like two characters having a conversation. First is, let's talk about the book size. You cannot have less than 24 pages. 24 page at least you should have when it comes to publishing your children's book. Otherwise, Amazon will not accept it for publishing. It will not approve it. Second is page dimension. Page dimension is the standard, industry standard is basically 8.5 by 8.5. That is a good standard. And if you want to go more or less, there are other dimensions as well. Do check it properly before going ahead, because sometimes what happens is if you go outside the standard printing size, what happens is a lot of the time you will have problem to get it printed. So definitely do your research about what size you want. Next comes the look, the layout. I'm sure you have seen a lot of children's book already. You can go to library or anywhere, and even your children probably have their books. So what you need to, when you look at it, it is in the landscape form. It is not in the portrait form, right? The regular books are always in the portrait form, but the children's book is in landscape form. And then comes the format. Okay, the book format has to be in PDF when you finally import it to KDP, that is Kids Book Creator. So it doesn't accept any other format, whether you are creating your illustrations on PowerPoint, InDesign, whatever software you're using, always make sure that you are using the PDF format. The most critical part when it comes to children's picture book is you need to have drawings in it. You need to have illustrations in it, and those illustrations should say story. If you can do it yourself, amazing, go ahead, do it. But if you can't, there are places where you can outsource your work. You can go to Upwork, you can find people there who does illustrations. I'm always asked about where the cost, what is the major cost when it comes to the publishing of a book. So the major cost when it comes to children's book is basically on the illustrations. When it comes to being a professional, if you want to create a brand identity for yourself and a business surrounding your book, I would recommend go for professional. The investment that you make here is worth it because you are creating your identity and your book will speak for yourself. This is basically very important when it comes to children's book. You should keep bleed. You should always have some space around your trim size. Otherwise, what happens is when the final product comes out, it will have a white border or a black border outside the book, and it doesn't look good. InDesign is a very good software to actually work like that, because it will allow you to choose your final trim size, and then it will allow you to actually keep some bleed around your main trim. The cover creation is, again, it's regular. It's like the other books as well, but you have to be sure about the trim size. Very important when it comes to cover. If you want to get a hard copy printed, most of the time Amazon does paperback. But if you want your hard copy of your book to be printed, because I know a lot of my authors ask me that, can I have my books printed in the hard copy? Yes, you can. It is not recommended though. But if you want your hard copy to be printed, what you can do is you can go to Ingram Spark and you can order. That is also a print on demand. You can order your hard copy for your book. But when you are doing the cover for the hard copy of your book, what you need to know is keep a lot of space. Consider this is my cover. So if it is in hard copy, here my cover ends, right? So you should at least have your cover until here so that it folds back inside. So that is basically the white part. You can add about the author or some information on that white space also in the hard copy, but make sure your book has that much space to be folded in when it comes to a hard copy. The cover creation for two different type of book is different. For a paperback, it will be a different cover creation. For a hard copy, it will be a different cover creation. So the last is, when you are ready with all those things, you have to download the software that you have to install it in your computer. That is called KDP, Kids Book Creator. So once you actually get it downloaded, you can import your PDF copy of your book. And then what Kids Book Creator does is it converts it into a MOBI file to be uploaded to your Amazon account and be accepted.
Now let's hear some tips from someone who has gone through this journey, from idea to published children's book.
I'm sure our listeners, our viewers, authors, aspiring authors, writers, they want to know that what would be your advice? All the aspiring authors, as you have done it successfully, not once, not twice, but 4 times so far.
Well, that's a very good question, Samata, because sometimes when you're writing, you might stumble. But the whole idea is to pursue your passion with tenacity. An author, an aspiring author, will have doubts in themselves, their capabilities, even their story, and they'll receive so much criticism, whether it's positive or negative. You have to be able to filter through that. And that's where a good mentor helps guide a person on that journey. And I didn't have that initially, and I was very scared and didn't know if I was pursuing it. But my background in marketing and some of the other experiences I've had, I understood the creativity aspect, but not the book industry. And each industry has their own terminology, certain protocols, certain understandings. And that's why I think an aspiring author needs to find a great team so they can do it together. You can't do this by yourself.
As Joseph Cassie shared, writing for kids is about empathy, creativity, and patience. Don't overthink. Just start writing and enjoy the process. Before you pick up your pen, here are a few common mistakes to avoid. Writing like you're talking to adults. Using big or complex words. Preaching too much instead of telling a story. Forgetting illustrations and pacing. Not knowing your age group. Avoid these and you're already ahead of the game. So, ready to bring your story to life? Start small. Let your imagination run wild. And most importantly, write from the heart. If you found this helpful, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe for more writing and publishing tips. and drop your story idea in the comments. We'd love to hear it. Until next time, happy writing.